many land this far? How long did you have that? Mr. Cox.
I'm not just customers, but person plans. Someone takes 20 far-fetching for me. The one that is lit on
Harold.
The first case in which a seed company is suing the person who does the cleaning of the seed. So if Monsanto's claims are held in this case, that would not only put them out of business, but would prohibit every grower in the country from doing what Mo does as a precedent in future cases.
Has any of these customers specifically told you that they are not going to use your seed bank services anymore?
Ron Merrill. This essentially puts me out of business next level. I'm finished.
Jerry Kaufman, Bill Theory, Robert Feld.
We've had a team system dedicated to continual virtue of efficiency. So we grow a very small number of crops, a very small number of varieties, a very small number of companies. And even though you achieve efficiency, the system is more and more sustainable. People will have a breakdown. And where the breakdown comes in this system, we don't always know. Modern production agriculture is highly dependent on large amounts of coding.
My farm is about 30,000 gallons a year.
We eat a lot of oil without knowing it. To bring a steer to slaughter, it's 75 gallons of oil. So what we're seeing is that this highly efficient machine does not have the resilience to deal with shocks such as the spike in food prices.
Food prices last month were 3.9% higher than they were a year ago.
But they could, another basic source of food, up to a 12-year high.
For a while, we could sell grain so cheaply anywhere in the world, farmers in other countries who aren't being subsidized could not compete with us. So that their capacity to grow food for themselves was compromised. The world's running out of food, nobody's talking about it. We have no reserves.
There have been protests around the world. Food prices have already brought down one month.
A month doesn't go by where there isn't a story in the news that peels back the curtain on how that industrial food is made.
Downers, too ill or lame to walk, being brutalized to get them to their feet, slaughtered.
Millions of gallons of concentrated hog manure flushing their contents downriver. The government's food czar reported that there are no tools in place to track the origin of the latest salmonella outbreak.
Every time one of these stories comes out, America learns a little bit more. What's going on in the kitchen, the food is being prepared. And every time they turn away in revulsion and start looking for alternatives.
The irony is that the average consumer does not feel very powerful. They think that they are the recipients of whatever industry has put out there for them to consume. Trust me, it's the exact opposite. When we run an item tax supermarket scanner, we're voting for local or not, organic or not.
At Walmart, we made a decision about a year ago to go through a process of becoming RBST-free in our milk supply. We made that decision based on customer preference.
Individual consumers change the biggest company on earth, and in so doing, probably put the last nail in the coffin for synthetic growth hormones.
To eat well in this country costs more than to eat badly. It will take more money, and some people simply don't have it. And that's one of the reasons that we need changes at the policy level, so that the carrots are a better deal than the jug. People think these companies are so big and so powerful, how are we ever going to change this? But look at the tobacco industry. They've had huge control over public policy, and their control is broken. The battle against tobacco was a perfect model
of how an industry's irresponsible behavior can be changed.
Imagine what it would be if, as a national policy, we said we would be only successful if we had fewer people going to the hospital next year than last year. How about that for success? The idea then would be to have such nutritionally dense, unadulterated food that people who ate it actually felt better, had more energy, and weren't sick as much. Now see, that's a noble goal.
I can't change the fact that Kevin's dead. When we tell somebody who's lost a child, I really don't like that look of pity that comes into their eyes. They feel sorry for me. I go to the same party all by myself very well, thank you. I don't need it from other people. What I need them to do is listen and help me affect the change.
You have to understand that we farmers, we're going to deliver to the marketplace what the marketplace demands. If you want to buy $2 milk, you're going to have to be one in your backyard. It's down $20. People at Southside demand commercials and food, and we're delivering, I promise you. We're very delivering. We're delivering.
Now I got some of your write-ups, but unless you guys got to answer your write-ups, so what you guys think of that?
I didn't like it.
I'm impressed. Yeah. A lot of the write-ups I'm getting from kids is, they were unhappy about like the treatment of animals and stuff, and I understand that too. The thing that disturbs me the most in that video is the uncomliness of the whole thing. The fact that they talked about how because there's so many cows, they get ground up just to go into one little meat patty. We're talking like 1,000 cows in one meat patty. Your chances of getting some kind of food poisoning or foodborne illness are crazy. It's even worse for little kids, and I have 2 little kids at home. One little kid at home and one older kid. So I've actually talked to my wife about it, and we're going to try to start buying. Coach Hanson the other day was talking about this too about co-op. We're going to start buying our meat at butcher shops. There's one in Kittery. There's one in Belford. Just because it's not mass produced there, it's going to be healthier. You're going to get less a chance of you saw the cows standing in all their own crap for all day. And the chicken food was disgusting. I couldn't even imagine. You saw the growth hormones that go into them. That was a good one, too. That was maybe one of the worst ones. Yeah, and, the funny thing is, parents, a lot of older people are, they're like brainwashed because they see the advertisements on TV, and, I was actually talking about this with my mother the other day because she was going to cook a big dinner for my family the other night, and I said, well, don't make any chicken, because she likes good chicken. And we were talking about how she's like, well, Purdue's good, and I said that's absolutely not good for you. We saw the Purdue one on the chicken cruise that they actually let you go in. They showed Purdue coming to pick up the chicken. But if you look at all of Purdue's, go to Walmart and look at their packaging, it's all going to say free range chicken, which means what they're telling you is their chickens aren't coos. Well, you saw them go pick them up, so you know they are. It's just stuff to think about like that. Now, we're going to go into, please explain to your parents, and I'm going to give you a sheet. We're going to start getting into their diet, nutrition, a lot of stuff in the next couple of weeks. You're going to have to do food logs and stuff. And I'm going to give you a letter to send home to your parents, so they're not, because you're going to be pretty much asking them every meal what they're putting in your food. And I don't want them to be offended by all of a sudden you're asking them, how they're good. Okay, so and it's going to be like anything you eat. What you're going to do today, your homework is 4-3. If you've already done 4-2 and 4-1, you can start your homework right now for 4-3. If you get done that, you do the chapter review. On Friday, we're going to do one big lecture on the whole chapter, and then your test is going to be on Tuesday. A lot of you guys only work right now, and so this is the time right now to do it. Get them in right now. We're giving you, basically giving you an hour, to do like 3 assignments, because that's all we have. And I'm not going to feel bad for you if you get zeros on these assignments when we take tests, because you're getting an hour to do them right now. It takes not even remotely close to an hour to do. Yep.
I have no idea what happened.
All right, so here's what I'm missing. Alex, you're missing 3-2, 3-3, and 4-2. You need 4-1. Alex, come to this table right here. This is your table. That's not your table over there. Jamie, you're missing 3-2, 2-3, 4-2. Aaron, I don't have 3-3 or 4-2. Bravo, 3-2, 3-4-2. Shelby, all 3 of those. Andrew, 3-2 and 3-3. Yeah. Hey, man. He's got long hair. He's like 6'3". I don't know if he's talking No, I got that. Well, yeah, I'm a dad. I have no idea. This is the one I bought, and the other one I have ready to do. Why is that? Oh, you bought it. Hey, look. I am adding to your assignment because the other, you guys are, your class is a little behind because they haven't finished.
Why should we get added on that they're not behind? Hey!
You have to be invited. Yeah, exactly.
You want me all 3 of those? Chris, you want me all 3 of those? I'm not getting it. I didn't hear my name. I'm going to go now.